Welcome to Relaxed Reddit Readings. Today we have 4 Reddit stories for you. Crazy family drama and life choices that shocked Reddit. Story 1. Sister asks for $50K after years of handouts, I finally snapped. So my sister just asked me for money again, and this time I absolutely lost it on her. Let me paint you the picture here. My sister's 28, I'm 26, and for years now she's been hitting me up for cash whenever she's in a bind. And I'm not talking about $20 here and there, we're talking serious money. I sat down and did the math recently, and I think she's borrowed somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000 from me over the years. $50,000. That's like a down payment on a house, and I just handed it over because, family, right? So a few days ago, she messages me with the usual sob story. No money, can I help her out, same old song and dance. And normally I'd just sigh, transfer whatever she needed, and move on with my life. But this time something was different. I'd been seeing my therapist, working on setting boundaries, and something just clicked. Instead of opening my banking app like I usually do, I stopped and really thought about it. Here's the thing. My sister has never once tried to better herself or make any real changes. She doesn't look for better jobs, doesn't try to learn new skills, doesn't budget, nothing. She just lives her life knowing that when things get tough, good old reliable me will bail her out. And I realized I've been enabling this whole mess. So when she texted me this time, I didn't send money. Instead, I told her the truth. I said it's her fault that she's in poverty, and I'm done being her personal ATM. I explained that she's had years to figure this out, years of me giving her safety nets, and she's wasted every single opportunity. I told her that until she shows me she's actually trying to change her situation, getting job training, sticking to a budget, something, anything, I'm not giving her another dime. You should have seen the response I got. She completely blew up at me, called me heartless, said I don't understand how hard her life is. She even got other family members involved, and now half of them think I'm some kind of monster for cutting off my struggling sister. But here's what really gets me, none of these family members who are so concerned about her situation ever offer to help her themselves. It's always me who's supposed to open my wallet. My therapist says I did the right thing, that enabling someone isn't actually helping them. But man, the guilt is real. Part of me wonders if I was too harsh, if I should have found a gentler way to say it. She is my sister, after all, and I do love her. But another part of me thinks this was long overdue. Maybe she needed to hear some hard truths. Maybe this wake-up call is exactly what she needs to finally take control of her life. I keep going back and forth on this. Was I right to finally put my foot down and tell her she needs to take responsibility for her own life? If you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story you relate to the most. Story 2. Coworker begged me to cover his shift, then I found out why. So get this, I just found out that I'm apparently the reason my coworker couldn't propose to his girlfriend, and honestly, I don't know how to feel about it. Let me tell you what happened. There's this guy at work, let's call him Mark. And a few weeks ago he starts telling everyone about his big proposal plans. He's going on and on about how he's gonna pop the question to his girlfriend at this concert they're going to, really hyping it up, making it sound like the event of the century. Everyone's excited for him, Sweet story, right? Well, here's where it gets messy. This genius scheduled himself to work the exact same night as the concert. How do you plan this big romantic proposal and then forget you have to work? But whatever, people make mistakes. So a few days before the concert, Mark starts desperately asking everyone to switch shifts with him. And I mean everyone. He's going around the restaurant like his life depends on it, begging people to take his Saturday night shift. Now, here's the thing about Saturday nights in the restaurant business, they're absolute chaos. It's our busiest night. The tips are good, but you're gonna be running around like crazy for hours. Most people either already have their own Saturday shifts or they want their weekend free. So naturally, nobody wanted to switch with him. Eventually, Mark gets to me. He asks if I can cover for him, and I tell him no. I already had plans that night, and honestly, his poor planning isn't my emergency. I'd worked the previous 3 weekends covering for other people, and I was looking forward to finally having a Saturday off. Plus, and this might sound petty, but Mark has never once covered a shift for me when I've needed it. So I stuck to my guns and said no. Mark seemed disappointed, but he moved on to ask other people. I figured he'd work something out somehow, maybe find someone to split the shift, or ask the manager to get off early, or I don't know, reschedule the proposal. Apparently none of that happened. He ended up having to work that Saturday night, missed the concert, and didn't get to propose. And now he's telling everyone who'll listen that it's my fault his proposal got ruined. Some of my coworkers are actually giving me grief about it, saying I could have just helped the guy out for one night. They're acting like I personally destroyed his relationship or something. But here's what really gets me, this was entirely preventable. If you're planning something that important, wouldn't you make sure you had the day off first? Like, that's proposal planning 101, right? And why is it my responsibility to fix his mistake? I've got my own life and my own plans. Story 3. I've been secretly buying food for my niece, here's why. So I've been doing something behind my brother's back for months now, and I'm not sure if I'm helping or making things worse. My brother's family has been staying with me and my wife for about 6 months while they save up money after moving from another state. It's been going pretty well overall, we all get along fine, and I don't mind helping out family. But there's this one situation that's been bothering me more and more. They have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. The boys are both teenagers, athletes, you know how it is, track and basketball. These kids eat like they're preparing for hibernation. I mean, they are constantly hungry, and when I say constantly, I mean it. Whenever we make food, they'll go back for seconds, thirds, sometimes fourths. They demolish any snacks in the house within hours of buying them. Now normally I wouldn't care about this, growing teenage athletes need to eat, I get it. But here's the problem, their sister, my niece, she's not as assertive as her brothers. She's quieter, more polite, and she waits her turn. By the time she gets to the kitchen, there's often nothing left, or just scraps. I started noticing this pattern a few months ago. I'd make dinner for everyone, and by the time this poor kid gets her plate, her brothers have already cleaned out the good stuff. She'd end up with like the burnt pieces or whatever was left at the bottom of the pan. And snacks? Forget about it. I'd buy a family-size bag of chips or some cookies, and they'd be gone before she even knew they were in the house. At first I thought maybe I was being too sensitive about it, but then I really started paying attention. This kid was getting the short end of the stick at every single meal. So I started doing something that probably makes me either really caring or really sneaky, depending on how you look at it. I began secretly buying extra food specifically for her. I'd hide snacks in places only she knew about, I'd set aside portions of dinner before her brothers got to it, and I'd even take her out for ice cream or fast food when her brothers weren't around. I made sure she knew this was just between us. The thing is, I don't think her parents have really noticed what's happening. They're dealing with the stress of the move, job hunting, saving money, they've got a lot on their plates. When they see their boys eating well, they probably just assume everyone's getting enough food. And my niece isn't the type to complain or make a fuss about it. But I can see it's affecting her. She started trying to grab food quickly before her brothers notice, or she'll ask me quietly if there's anything else to eat. It breaks my heart. My wife thinks what I'm doing is sweet, but she's worried I'm overstepping boundaries. She thinks I should talk to my brother about it instead of going behind his back. But I'm afraid that might create family drama or make my niece feel bad, like she got her brothers in trouble. Plus, what am I supposed to say? Your sons are eating too much. That seems harsh when they're just being normal teenage boys. But on the other hand, I can't just watch my niece go hungry while I have the means to help her. She's family, she's living in my house, and she deserves to eat just as well as her brothers do. Am I wrong for handling this situation secretly instead of addressing it directly with her parents? Story 4. My mom demanded my phone password and I refused. Now she won't talk to me. So my mom just stopped talking to me completely, and all because I won't give her unlimited access to my phone. I'm 17, about to turn 18 in a few months, and this whole situation has me questioning everything about our relationship. Here's what happened. A few days ago, my mom comes up to me out of nowhere and demands that I change my phone password to the same one she uses for everything. Her reasoning? She wants to be able to go through my phone whenever she feels like it, no questions asked, no privacy, nothing. Just complete and total access to every text, every photo, every app, everything. Now look, I've never been a bad kid. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I'm not out there getting into trouble or hanging with the wrong crowd. I've never really hidden anything from my mother, she's pretty much had access to my whole life up until this point. I'm not exactly living some secret double life here. But something about this demand just didn't sit right with me. Maybe it's because I'm almost 18, maybe it's because I'm starting to feel like I deserve some basic privacy, but the thought of her being able to just snoop through my personal conversations whenever she wanted made me really uncomfortable. So I told her no. Multiple times, actually. And let me tell you, she did not take that well. At first she tried to guilt me, asking what I had to hide, why I was being so secretive all of a sudden. Then she got angry and started saying I was being disrespectful and disobedient. When that didn't work, she moved on to threats about taking the phone away entirely. But here's the thing, I actually bought this phone myself with money from my part-time job. So while she pays for the phone plan, the actual device is mine. I reminded her of this, and that just made her even more furious. Now she's giving me the full silent treatment. She won't talk to me, she barely acknowledges my existence when I'm in the room, and she keeps making these passive-aggressive comments about how I'm being ungrateful and secretive. She's even gotten my dad involved, though he seems less invested in this whole phone drama than she is. The worst part is that she keeps saying things like I'm acting like I have something terrible to hide, or that normal kids who trust their parents wouldn't have a problem with this. She's making me feel like I'm being unreasonable for wanting some basic privacy. But am I being unreasonable? I mean, I'm months away from being a legal adult. I work, I pay for my own stuff, I've never given her any real reason not to trust me. Don't I deserve some boundaries? Some personal space? The thing is, I do love my mom and we usually have a pretty good relationship. But this feels like she's trying to control me instead of trust me. And honestly, even if I had nothing to hide before, her demanding total access to my private conversations makes me want to hide things just on principle. I've been going back and forth on this for days now. Part of me wants to just give her what she wants so things can go back to normal. The silent treatment is really wearing on me, and I hate having this tension in the house. But another part of me feels like if I give in now, I'll never have any privacy or independence. Was I right to stand my ground on this, or should I just give my mom the access she wants? If you enjoyed these stories, drop a comment telling me which one was your favorite. And if you want more relaxed Reddit readings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment and subscribe for more relaxed Reddit readings.